All right, what's going on, y'all? So today I'm going to be talking to you about, in my opinion, some of the most important advice I can give you if you want to be an extraordinary bodybuilder, athlete, whatever. This is truly what will separate you from everybody else. This is why basically 95% of the people you see in the gym barely ever change. And then B, even the ones that are competing, this is why they never become great. And you have a few people that it seems like they get results so quickly. I was explaining this to a client the other day in the gym, and when we had this conversation, it was like a light bulb went off in their head, and it completely changed things for them. Now, to understand this, you're going to have to put your ego down listening to this video. You're going to have to really look inwardly within yourself and have some humility to take pride out of it, because honestly, ego is why most people can't take the advice I'm about to give you. So we're going to talk about the different factors that go into, what makes a great bodybuilder, what makes a great strength athlete. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, PEDs. So y'all have watched my progress of the last 5 to 6 years go from being a 153-pound ultra runner to, at my peak, being 260-pound bodybuilder. Obviously, I took steroids. I did PEDs. But with that being said, the amount of people that come to me that take literally 3 to 5 times as much as I've ever even considered taking, and don't even look like they barely lift in the gym, and just frankly have a pretty crappy look. It's literally on a weekly basis that I'm dealing with this. Now we're in an age where steroids and PEDs are super easily accessible online. B, there's forums and advice out there from everybody. So here's what you've got to get through your mind. Everybody is taking the same compounds. Everybody's having access to the same stuff. And with that, people are taking even way more and taking loads more than other people. The reality is everybody has access to PEDs. It's super easy to go ahead and just jab yourself with steroids and think you're going to get the results. The reality is most people that are coming to me taking huge, obnoxious cycles that don't look good, I'm telling you, it's literally on a weekly basis that I'm dealing with this. And this is also, not the point of this video. We're going to get to this in another video, but there is a difference between those who have built their physique primarily with drugs compared to, frankly, hard work plus a little bit of PEDs. The look is very different. One is a very kind of mutant, not very aesthetic look in what it does to the skin, the muscle quality, all of that, versus one that you can actually maintain great shape, great aesthetics, all that. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is everybody has access to the same steroids, and people, because of that, are taking, loads more than what they need to be taking. B, everybody knows, we're in 2025, it's been preached down our throats for decades now. You got to eat big to get big. I grew up in the age of, the only people really on YouTube talking about this stuff was Race Piana, Jay Cutler, all saying the same stuff of you got to eat big to get big. People know you need to eat. So if you take these two factors, everybody has access to essentially the same PEDs with the same information of what to take. Then you've got, everybody knows you need to eat to fuel training, all that. What is the factor that's separating the great, the truly extraordinary, the great from everybody else? The ones that get, really quick results, really efficient results, but then also get the better look than everybody else and really separate themselves. Yes, there is a genetic component that goes into this. Genetics and, how you respond to the training, how you respond to the diet, especially how you respond to PEDs. But I've seen people with lackluster genetics beat people with great genetics because of the third point. It's the training. The training is what's truly separating the extraordinary from everybody else. Keep in mind, like I just said, it's super easy to go ahead and eat the food. Yeah, you got to force feed and all that. That's hard in its own regard. But it's super easy to go ahead and just jab yourself with a needle and take a boatload of drugs. Everybody can do that. What's separating everybody is the training. And this is where you'll hear everybody say, I'm the hardest worker in the room. My training is super intense, but the amount of people I actually deal with and see in the gym and come to me with their training that have even remotely close to how it should be is few and far between. And this is where I recommend to you, this is what I did back in the day when I was getting started with this, you gotta put your ego down. You gotta put your ego down and realize that if you aren't getting those extraordinary results and you don't look extraordinary right now, your training probably is not at that level. One, there's a level of intensity that most people just do not have. Most people do not know how to truly hit that sixth gear, truly lock into a pain cave, and truly reach failure. Most people, when they reach failure with me, when they come to me for the first time training, their failure is like 3 to 4 reps off of what their true failure is. It takes another level mentally to get there. So one is a level of intensity, but then two, and this is a big one, is split design. You know, a lot of people, most people just do not have proper split designs in place to manage intensity with volume, to manage where your backloading movements are in the week, to manage fatigue. Most people don't know movement selection, movement order within their split. Most people don't have this set up in a really, really efficient way. Yet you'll hear everybody say, I'm the hardest worker in the room. You'll have some people that do have that level of intensity, but then their split design just sucks, so they're not able to get the most out of it. My whole point with this video is, if you want to be an extraordinary strength athlete, whether that's bodybuilder, powerlifter, strongman, whatever, you've got to go ahead and put your ego down and realize if you are not looking like that already and you're not getting these super quick, fast results, it's not the PEDs, it's not the food. If you're taking that stuff, you know, everybody's taking the same stuff. And yes, there's people that are taking way more, but usually the people that are taking way more, the look ends up sucking anyway. More usually in this game does not necessarily equal better. Yes, I have been around, you know, some big open pros that they take some, you know, pretty obnoxious levels, but I've also been around pros that they have great looks, and you would be shocked at how little PEDs they take. The thing that really separates the extraordinary from everybody else is the training. Now, this is hard for you to like look within yourself and really establish, you know, am I really training, you know, to that extraordinary level? You know, you don't know what you don't know. This is where it's taken me, you know, years to really hone down my training. And even to this day, I'm still perfecting my training, whether that be, you know, the tension I hold on the muscle through the entire rep and set. You know, I'm constantly playing around with different split designs, different movement selection, movement order. You know, I'm still to this day perfecting everything, but it took me, you know, the first, you know, at least 3 to 4 years of really, you know, my whole focus just being bodybuilding to really get to the point that my training really was at an extraordinary level. And that's why y'all have watched, you know, I was able to put on muscle at a pretty fast rate. And yes, I took PEDs, but y'all would be surprised at the amount I took was way lower than what people think. The PEDs is not what drove the fast results. It allowed them, but the fast results came from the training. Now, here's the reality. If you have access to, you know, you've got a pro in your area, you have someone that has an extraordinary physique, and you watch them in the gym and they are training with just a different level, if they offer in-person training, that's going to be your best bet. Find someone who really knows what they're doing, and they offer in-person training, and they can truly show you what reaching true failure with true intensity is. If you don't have the money to spend on that, or you don't have that type of person in your area, the next best bet is to get a good online coach who, one, is going to build out your split design based off of you, what you need personally, and then B, someone who you know, offers like form and execution critiques. You know, I have my clients send me their training videos, you know, to see, are they really properly trained to failure, and then are they executing the movement properly? You know, that can be me, that can be someone else. But if you don't have money for the in-person training, you don't have that in the area, next best bet is online coaching. Your third best bet, and this is what I did starting out, it's going to take a little bit more work, and it's going to really take you putting your ego down. Study, and I've talked about this many times, study 3 to 5 inspirational people, you know, inspirational bodybuilders that you look up to, you love their look, and study, you know, whether they have a YouTube channel, whether they have Instagram videos, study their training as best you can, study their split design, study the intensity, especially the intensity that they give. You know, back in the day, you know, getting started with this, I loved Dorian Yates, so I studied his blood and guts videos. I loved Hunter Labrada, so I studied his YouTube videos. And there was a couple other people. What I did is I studied what they were doing training-wise week to week, with everything from movement selection to their split design, and then especially to intensity. And then, it takes time to then really perfect that, because intensity doesn't just mean, moving load all the way to failure, moving heavy load all the way to failure. That's what I thought in the beginning. In the beginning, I would scream in the gym, lifting crazy amounts of weight, but I didn't grow as efficiently, because then I had to learn it's not just about, moving the load. It's about also holding an insane amount of tension through the entire rep and the entire set with that heavy load. So all this stuff does take time. This isn't something you're going to get overnight, but what should happen is, over time, you should be getting your training better and better and better to where your results are coming faster and faster and faster. I have a new in-person training client, the one that I was talking to you about, last week was our first session, and he's already a talented bodybuilder, already competed, all that. He was smoked by the end of the session. Like, he was not able to get more reps up. And with that, the next day he texted me, he's never been this sore with any training. The reality is you don't know what you don't know. And everybody in the gym has such an ego. The more you can put that ego down and really realize, if you don't look like how you want to look yet, or you're not getting the results in what the fast time you think you should be getting, the reality is, if you're taking PEDs and you're eating the food, it's probably not the PEDs and the food, it's the training. And everybody says I'm the hardest worker in the room. And almost everybody I see is just not training either with the level of intensity or training with the proper execution with the proper split design. So this is my best piece of advice I can give you. If you can really, really, really hone down on training, and for all of you natural guys out there, if you hone down on training and then you have your food in place, you will get extraordinary results. And I see natural guys that have, their training locked in, and they look better than guys taking boatloads of drugs. So the point is, and we're going to talk about in another video about physiques built primarily off of drugs versus physiques built off of hard work, either just naturally or hard work plus, a moderate amount of PEDs. It's a completely different look. One is super aesthetic. One just looks like, a science experiment. This is my best piece of advice, and probably the most important piece of advice I can give to y'all out there that want to do extraordinary things in fitness and bodybuilding and strength sports, whatever. You've got to put the ego down, really analyze your training, and really learn what it means to train properly with proper intention and with proper split design in all of that. But I hope you guys got something out of this. Today's a rest day from my functional power building split. Guys, I am wrecked. I talked to y'all about that in yesterday's video. I woke up this morning and my body feels pretty beat, more beat than it has in a while. I told y'all that I'm trying to intentionally kind of redline through this block and see kind of the limit I can push myself to. Training 6 days a week with very, very intense, hard, heavy training. But like I told you, I'm going to have to up my calories. So today I'm gradually upping them, and then throughout this week I'm probably going to push them up to north of 4,000 and see how we're feeling with that. But I'll keep y'all posted. The next session is going to be a powerlifting squat focus session. So I'm excited to bring that to y'all. But I hope y'all got something out of this video. If you did, please go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. God bless y'all and have a great rest of your day.